So on the top of the page, you should have written Converting Between Measurement Systems, Chapter 4, Lesson 7. I'm just going to tell you that LO stands for your learning objective. You do not have to write it all out. So don't worry about writing it all out. What you're going to learn is, I will compare the two systems of measurement by discussing on which is greater, the customary or the metric system. The essential question, though, is how you're going to convert, and it is, and you do need to write this, how can I use ratios and proportions to convert measurements. I'm going to put a box around ratios and proportions. So here are some average ones that are on the chart that you took a picture of. So 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. 1 foot is approximately 305 thousandths meters. 1 yard is approximately 0.914 or 914 thousandths of a meter. 1 mile is 1.61 kilometers. Basically, we're just filling in the chart that you guys have. Weight or mass are like ounces and grams. So 1 ounce is approximately 28.4 grams. And it tells us 1 pound is about 454 thousandths of a kilogram. Capacity is how much something can hold. Like ounces, 1 fluid ounce is approximately 29.6 milliliters. 1 quart is approximately 946 thousandths of a liter. And 1 gallon is approximately 3 79 hundredths of a liter. So let's get into some examples. When lifting weights, Mark adds 11 and 35 hundredths kilograms to his bar. About how many pounds does he add to his bar? Guys, if I'm underlining something, so are you. Step 1 is to find the conversion factor. So we are going from kilograms to pounds. So I'm going to go back. Right here. 1 pound equals 0.454 kilograms. So you write it. 1 pound is about 0.45 kilograms. So you're finding it on your chart. Then I'm going to put a star here. Right? The conversion factor as a ratio. And a ratio is a, what is a ratio?
It says 0.454.
Oh, I gotta have another 4. Thank you. What's a ratio, guys? Somebody just said it. Say it louder. It's a fraction. A ratio is just a fraction, so I just write this as a fraction. So 1 pound over 0.454 kilograms. So then it says convert the given measurement. So what do I start with? I start with what I know. How much did I put on there?
11.35.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with 11.35 kilograms times, what's my conversion factor? No, you gotta look here. My conversion factor is a ratio. 1 pound over 0.454 kilograms. Because what do we want to cancel out?
Kilogram.
The kilograms. We want the label. And so that's why it's. And what does this first one just go over?
1.
1, or you don't have to put it over 1, but I always like to put it over 1. And then it's 11.35 times 1 was 11.35 over 1 times this, 0.454. And this is what you can put in your calculator, right? So I'm gonna do it in my calculator. 11.35 divided by 0.454, and I get 25. Okay, see how that get 25? And my label was what? What was I left with?
Pounds.
Pounds, because that's the only one that was not crossed off. Right here is the long division of 11.35 divided by 0.454. Right here is my division bar. You guys see that? So you would say James added,
It's Mark.
oh, sorry, my other copy says James. Mark added about 25 pounds. So we got example 2. Julie uses 24 quarts. I'm underlining that. So basically, I already know what I'm starting with. What am I starting with? 24 quarts of water to water her rose bushes every night. About how many? What? Liters does she use every night? So I'm going from what to what?
Quarts to
Quarts to liters. Step 1 is to find the conversion factor. So I want to go, let's find quarts and liters on this other side. I got it right here. See that? 1 quart is about 0.946. So I'll write that right down here. 1 quart is approximately 0.946 liters. what? You need to move, cause I can't move for the recording. Now, after we did that, we wrote it as a ratio. Now, looking here, I'm starting with quarts. Will I want my quarts to be on the top or on the
I
bottom?
need the following students to report to the office: Jonathan Morozic, Colby Calhoun, Connor Albritton, Avid Martinez, Kaylin Scheit, Aiden Daniels, Carson Drone, and Braxton Currick to the office, please.
If I start in quarts, in order to cancel it out, quarts will need to be on the,
Top.
no,
Bottom.
bottom. If I started with quarts, it's gonna have, because quarts, what I start with is on the top. So to write this as a ratio, you're not gonna put the 1 quart on top. You're gonna put the 0.946 liters on top, and then on the bottom, you're gonna put your 1 quart. Cause you can change the order, does that make sense for your ratio? As long as you can cancel it out. So now we're gonna convert. What did we start with?
Quarter.
So I'm writing 24 quarts times, this is our conversion factor, 0.946 liters over 1 quart. Do you see why now we put the quart on the bottom?
Yep.
So cross off my quarts. And I just take 24 times that, and 24 is over 1, and 1 times 1. So that would just be 1. And then I'm gonna take my calculator. I'm gonna take 24 times 0.946 is 22.704. So it'd be 22.704, and my label would be liters. Now, it asks, how many liters does she use? We're probably gonna wanna round up. But watch the question. In the book, sometimes they tell you to round to the nearest hundredth. Sometimes they'll round it to the nearest whole. So be careful what you round to. Does that make sense? So on to another example. Jacob needs 14 feet of fencing. About how many meters is that? So what should I underline in my problem? 14 feet and meters. First, we find the conversion factor. So I go back to, I need feet and meters. Right here, 1 foot is 0.305 meters. So 1 foot is about 0.305 meters. If I'm starting in feet, should feet be, and then I go to make my ratio, should feet be on the top or the bottom? Bottom. So my 1 goes with the foot, and 0.305 meters is on top. Now we're gonna convert the given measurement. So I start with 14 feet, so I start with 14 feet times, what's our conversion ratio? Right there. 0.305 over what? 1. And this is over 1. So the only thing we're doing is what?
Adding the top.
Now we're just multiplying our fractions. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. Get out your calculator. 14 times .305 equals 4.27. What didn't I cross off? What should I cross off?
Feet.
The feet. Because what is my measurement that I'm left with?
Meters.
And that is my label. Okay, if you're writing down in a pen for notes, change to a pencil. Because I want you guys to try this. All I want you to do is set up the, conversion factor. Bob's rectangular driveway is 45 feet long by 18 feet wide. He plans to pave the entire driveway. The asphalt paving costs $24 per square meter. What will the total cost of the paving be? Alright. We are 45 feet, circle the by. Okay, maybe we're gonna do this one together. 18 feet wide. Okay, are you with me on that? But the asphalt paving cost is $24 per square meter. So I have to convert, step one is to convert the dimensions of the driveway to what? It tells us, 2 meters. So I'm gonna have to do each one of these. You guys with me on that?
Yeah.
So we have to go feet to meters. So let's find feet to meters. 1 foot equals, or is approximately 0.3. So 1 foot is about 0.305 meters. Okay, you guys with me? I'm gonna do kind of 2 steps at once here. What do I start with? 45, right? So I'm gonna change. So I'm gonna start 45 feet on top. Oops, let me get it in there. Times. Now, what should be on the bottom? So 1 foot. And on the top is 0.305. You guys understand that? Yeah.
Does that mean 18 would be?
I'm not doing the 18 yet. I'm converting how long it is first into meters, and then I will convert how wide it is into meters. So I'm changing the feet to meters. So cancel out your feet. And that is about, well, I do 45 times 0.305. And I get 13.725. You guys with me on that? Now let's do the 18. So what's gonna be on top? Well, what do I start with?
18.
So I just start with 18 feet. Times what goes on top?
0.3.
Yep, the same thing. The only thing that's changed is 18 feet over 1 foot. The feet cancel each other out. And I do 18 times 0.305 equals 5.49. So now I've got my measurements in meters. You guys understand that you had to change both of them? Now how do I find the area of the driveway?
Length times width.
Length times width. So it says find the area of the entire driveway in square meters. Well, we already found it in meters. So area equals length times width. So I just plug in 13.725 times 5.49. Use your calculator. 13.725 times 5.49 equals 75.35, and that would be meters squared. But if we're doing a project, do I round up or down? Round up. So this is approximately how many meters squared? 76 meters squared. Go ahead, ask the question.
I thought you couldn't round up if the number is lower than 5.
Right, but but I'm not done yet, because I now have to, because it costs me $24 per square meter. I need at least the 75, right? But I'm gonna need a little bit more to pave it. So I'm gonna have extra, so I'm going to need the extra. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy more than what I need. So if I need to figure out how much it is per square meter, what do I do?
Divide?
No, multiply it by 24. That's on the back page. So I take we round it up to 76, right? So I take my 76 times 24, and I get $1,824. Meters. Wait, that's my cost. So that's how much it's gonna cost to pave the entire driveway. So now we got another one. A rectangular flower bed is 2 meters wide and 3 meters long. What is the area of the flower bed in square feet? Round intermediate steps and your answer to the nearest hundred. Intermediate steps means each step we do. So first we need to change the 2 meters to what? What does it need to come to? Feet, right? So let's look at our chart. We gotta do feet and meters. So the meters is gonna be on the bottom. 1 foot, 0.305 meters. 1 foot, 0.305 meters. Okay, see how I did that? Cancel out my meters. Goes over 1. So I got 2 over 0.305. That's a division problem in my calculator. So 2 divided by 0.305. 6.557, but it says to round it to the nearest hundred. So underline the 5, arrow to the right, 6.56. And that, my label is going to be feet, because that's what I have left. Do this again with a 3. So I have 3 meters equals how many feet? Well, 1 foot is 0.305 meters. Cancel out my meters. So 3 over 0.305 equals 3 divided by 0.305. 9.836, and it keeps going, but I underlined the hundreds place, arrow to the right. So it's 9.84 feet, because that's what I need to find. So now to find the area, what am I gonna do to these two numbers? Multiply. 9.84 feet times 6.56. Again, use your calculator. 9.84 times 6.56 equals 64.5504, and that'd be feet squared, but then it said to round the nearest tenth, so I'm gonna underline the 5, arrow to the right, but I get 64.55 feet squared. No, go ahead and hit stop. Now we're gonna go into our book.